I'm using a hashtag, how to keep your democracy. And the topic for today is the 35 Republicans who voted with Democrats on a resolution to have a hearing, have a commission into the events of January the 6th, when a mob of riled up, indoctrinated pro-Trump supporters sought to overturn the United States government in order to delay and prevent Joe Biden being certified as the election winner of the 2020 presidential election. And in doing so, injured 140 police officers, potentially contributed to the death of Officer Brian Sicknick. Oh, please excuse my children. They're so excited right now. But yes, I'm here as a future migrant to the United States, should be coming sometime soon. I need to turn on the comment section just so I can say hi to anybody here. Hello to Molly and Knowledge. Lovely to see you both. Molly sent me a letter written by the Capitol Police officers, which I'd just like to read because it is so powerful. And she was hoping it might contribute to a bipartisan vote, in that maybe some Republicans would be motivated to act. Hang on, I forgot to turn on the light. Whew, it turns on so bright to start with. All right, let's read this letter. Hello, letter B. Hello, hello. Nice to see everybody. All right, I've got this letter here. So it says, to members of Congress from members of the United States Capitol Police. Subject, January the 6th Commission. We members of the United States Capitol Police write this letter to express our profound disappointment with the recent comments from both chambers' minority leaders, i.e. Republicans, expressing no need for a January the 6th Commission. The brave men and women of the USCP were subjected to hours and hours of physical trauma, which has led to months of mental anguish. If you look around the Capitol building, you still have doors that are broken, windows still smashed, and in some cases missing. Officers are forced to go to work with the daily reminder of what happened that dreadful day. On January the 6th, where some officers served their last day in a US Capitol Police uniform, and not by choice, we would hope that members whom we took an oath to protect would, at the very minimum, support an investigation to get to the bottom of everyone responsible and hold them 100% accountable, no matter the title or the position they held, or they hold or held. It is inconceivable that some of the members we protect would downplay the events of January the 6th. Member safety was dependent on member safety was dependent on the heroic actions of USCP. It is a privileged assumption for members to have the point of view that it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. That privilege exists because the brave men and women of the USCP protected you, the members. Lastly, with each passing week, a new revelation about January the 6th reveals itself. A new indictment comes to light. Another newsreel of USCP officers being assaulted is released, or some breaking news regarding somebody's involvement. With these constant reminders, it is unconscionable to even think anyone could suggest we need to move forward and get over it. Unfortunately, this letter comes to you anonymously because, as US Capitol Police officers, we are expected to remain neutral and do our jobs with honor and integrity. It is unfortunate that our bosses, Congress, are not held to the same standard that we, the USCP, are, proud members of the United States Capitol Police. Well, I'm proud of them sending that letter. It's an extraordinary letter. It's an extraordinary letter, but it's also extraordinary that 35 Republicans found motivation to act in good conscience and support the members of the Capitol Police, as well as the residents of the United States of America, who were nearly compelled to live under an authoritarian presidency, with Donald Trump usurping a second term that he was not entitled to because people voted him out of office. And 35 Republicans stood up. And what I'm going to talk about is the reality gulf. So the actions of those 35 Republicans highlighted the reality gulf between Republicans who are lying through their teeth to pretend that the insurrection didn't happen. Jeffrey giggles is here and mentions that Representative Clyde, who's a Republican representative, said that there was no insurrection, but he himself contributed towards stacking furniture at the doors of the House of Representatives in order to keep out the armed and dangerous Trumpists who sought to compel legislators to throw out the results of the election, to throw out the certified electoral college votes that had been certified, tabulated, etc., to introduce the new president to the American public. Molly asks, do you think they'll be reprimanded as a group since no names were on it? I don't know. How okay would it be to reprimand police officers who just spoke out that they suffered? And they don't mention the word Republicans. They mention their disappointment with some people. Oh, that is a timer telling me that I have to go and organize some more classes for my children who are on lockdown homeschooling at the moment. So what I want to leave everybody with is that Trump is out of office, and Trump in office led apocalyptic style politics. Amongst Republicans, he convinced them that there was always an imminent apocalypse of an invasion of migrant caravans or something. You know, Donald Trump, like all fascists, was very good at fabricating crises in order to cultivate loyalty and devotion amongst his base, that he was the only person who had the willingness to acknowledge these crises and attend to these crises. When a real crisis happened, he didn't respond to that, which helped turn some former Republicans or Republican-leaning independents against him. But without Trump in office, does the country correctly perceive the threat still posed to democracy and to America, and to American interests, by the determination of Republican politicians to create circumstances that would allow Trump to come back, to introduce state legislation that would allow officials to Republican politicians to overturn the results of an election if they didn't like the results, to overturn the activity and the work of officials whose job it is to secure elections and to tabulate election results. That is a big part of all of the new legislation waves sweeping various states where Republicans control the state legislature. America is at great risk of having its democracy eroded whilst everybody's still collectively engaged in breathing out in a big sigh of relief. And when I say everybody, sorry, I mean everybody who correctly perceived that Trump had let America down, that he was a poor leader who responded with lies to a real crisis and made up or exaggerated other so-called crises. So Jeffrey says, you are awesome, keep it up. Thank you. Look, there's a new article in The Atlantic called "The Country is on the Cusp of a New Era." I might share it just so people can see the graphic. Yeah. America is inching closer to the possibility it has never seen before, the indictment and trial of a former president. So while we're waiting for that It could be on the cusp of a new era of seeing a former president indicted and charged and tried. Indicted, charged, tried, and potentially convicted and jailed. These would all be incredibly novel for America, which is used to having presidents that are above the law. George Bush and his administration weren't convicted of misconduct when they misled the United States about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq in a way that facilitated the deaths of thousands of American troops and the grief and suffering and loss of hundreds of thousands of their family members and friends. To say nothing of the unnecessary deaths and suffering of hundreds of thousands of Iraqis. John's here and says, hi, Dav. John, you're going to have to watch the replay because I have to get off and set up some schoolwork for my children. So goodbye, everybody. Take care. Thanks for joining in and hope to see you soon. I'll have to check it out, Nancy. That seems high. Are you sure it was 46% of all the people responding, or 46% of Republicans who believed that Biden wasn't elected legitimately? Because I think that's even high for the subset of Republicans who, actually no, it's true. It's 33% of, anyway, I have to go, so we'll talk about it another time. But see you later. And with any luck, that reality gulf is going to be a wedge issue between Republicans who do accept that the election was legitimate and the Republicans and Republican-leaning independents who have bought into the foxaganda that that Biden didn't legitimately win. Well, whoops, I haven't been on screen for a little while, but I'm waving goodbye. Thanks, everyone. Take care.